We're back on day 4 of the screen porch makeover. Now the guys got here early this morning and they've been rocking and rolling ever since they got here. So let's just go ahead and jump in and get this thing started. The homeowner was just tired of looking at the old semi-bead horizontally installed vinyl siding. So we decided to change these 2 ends to look exactly like what we're going to do on the new porch back there, which is a straight up vertically installed board and batten vinyl siding. It's really sharp looking. So a lot of these braces that are installed perpendicular to the structure, I'll be able to remove because the plywood's holding that action now. And then that will allow us to use that same material to frame our false soffit underneath of there and hide that power wire so it does not become an eyesore. The rest of these braces up here, we'll leave that in. And I mean, honestly, then at that point, we're pretty much ready for the electrician to come in and wire it. So hopefully we can get it all done and when he comes home, it's just completely done and he has something new to look at. Advancing this thing as far as humanly possible today is the best idea, really. Let's see if we can cut the stair pattern. Go from there. Try to the squadrelli table. This is always a good idea whenever you're doing your stair measurements. A lot of times people will measure right here at the edge of the deck and say, oh, well, I've got 32 and a half or 32 and a half inches. But a lot can happen in the ground over the distance of where the steps are actually going to land. So it's really nice to put a leveled board approximately the distance of where your steps are going to end so you can get a true reading on your tape measure. And you can see there we're about 33 and a quarter. You can see there we have about 30 and 3/4. So there's about a 3-inch difference fall just in that 3-foot span. So it's really important to measure where they're actually going to finish and not right up against the deck. We'll see if we can make our own framing square, which is not ideal. It will turn out just fine, but we really have to take our time cutting this piece of plywood and the stairs. We've marked our 6 9/16 for the rise, our 10 3/4, our 10 1/4 for the run. So we will simply just trace this factory edge of our plywood to create our stair pattern. Now, this is not ideal. I recommend not doing this if this is your first time. It's much better to use the framing square, especially being that they provide those lock-in mechanisms to get a really true measurement, but we should be a-okay with this. Now, our total amount of steps are 5 steps, but the deck itself is going to be the 5th and final step. So we're going to do 4 stairs here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, now we're going to apply a 1x8 kicker board in the front. So on the back side of this very first stair, we're going to remove the exact width of what our kicker board is so that the stairs will stay the same measurement. If you do not remove the difference in the kicker, then when you put your decking boards on the top, they will have no overhang that will match the rest of the stairs. So always, whatever you put in front of the stair, you need to subtract that from the very first riser, and then your steps will all work out to be the same exact measurement. All right, so there is our stair pattern, and we will mark 4 more of these. When you do your rafter patterns and or stair patterns, you want to copy only one board to do all of that work. So whatever your original first copy is that you cut of either your rafter or your stairs, that will create some consistency between the stairs themselves. What we're gonna be doing here is we're gonna be providing some back support for the stringers. And we're just gonna attach these back boards behind the double band board that was on the deck and let them hang a little past to support our header that's gonna help support the stairs. And we'll tack that for now with the framing gun. And then later we will screw that off. These will sit here just like so. Now, we're not gonna attach them just yet because we're gonna dig our holes. And I wanna make sure that I'm relatively square to the deck. This side. Screw it right here. We're gonna drop this down to our riser height because we've marked here the same exact distance of our risers that we cut into the 2x12s. So we're gonna line that right up on our line, right flush to the outside, and nail it right there. Support that right there. Right here. We have roughly a 4-foot opening, and I was gonna put these about 12 inches on center, but I think we're gonna have actually a little closer to 16 inches on center, which is fine as long as you're not working with composite decking. All right. We'll make sure that we're still nice and square. Oh yes, that looks really good right there. They're nice and tight to the back deck. So we're getting really close to getting these steps in their final location. And you can see we're really close to the ground level where we pulled our measurement from originally. And we're gonna check the level of the steps first, then we'll level this post in both directions before we completely attach it to the stringer. At that point, and be able to do our back fit. And once we get this one side complete, we'll do the same thing, rinse and repeat on the other side. Okay, I'll hold it level and you knock it out. That's really good. These riser boards though. Whoa, we gotta rip them. I didn't think about that, Mr. Hughes. It's only 6 9/16. All right, so our bolt is at the most inconvenient of heights. It's not the right size drill bit, but we're gonna try to countersink that thing anyway. All right, Tavo, regular side, my little buddy. See how close we are there. Oh, that's a lot closer. Once he tightens that down, we are gonna be good, baby. All right. So we're getting really close at the end of the steps here. We're gonna cut this final stair tread to notch around these 4x4s, and then I'm gonna pull a measurement and whack these off at the height of what the rest of our posts are gonna be on the existing porch. We've got the stairs in a good position for the moment. We're obviously not gonna put the rails on there now, because I would like to screen it first so that I can attach the rails directly through the screen portion, and that'll have to wait till after the staining. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump right now to the vinyl rails on the open deck area. And if I get the rails done, we are gonna be pretty much there, which is not bad. I can't remember if this is day 4 or day 5, but either way, we're making good progress, no matter which day it is. Obviously, it'd be better for me if it was day 4. And these are some surface mounted posts from Fibron, which I have never used this particular brand. All pretty similar, just wanna make sure. Oh, look, and they come with their own screws. That never happens. Wow, that's interesting. These are the leveling wedges right here. Assuming these are the washers for these bigger bolts if you want to go all the way through. These bolts here, I do not know if these are galvanized. And if I can't confirm that they are covered with zinc, then I may just use the extra ones that I bought. And we are going to screw this one down right over here. And we are going to apply one of these ledger locks to each corner. All right, we're not going to tighten them all the way down yet because we don't want to make the deck unlevel. And I am going to go caddy cornered first. We're going to add some blocking underneath the decking board because where this screw goes in with the holes provided in the surface mounted post does not have anything below this decking board. It's a little bit past where the band board is. If this coarse thread goes all the way past the decking board, we're essentially not grabbing anything in this area. So we're going to install a block right where those holes are so that when we do insert the lag screw, it will be grabbing solid wood all the way down where the threads are and really hold that surface mounted post tightly to the decking board. Oh, that thing tightened on down. 1/4 inch and lift. There we go. That will work. Just like so. And that shim can stay underneath of there. And once we put the post sleeve cover on, it'll all be covered up, nice and level, and that's a great place to be. So for this outer section here, what our goal is to make it all the way to where this inside post is. So we're going to line up a post on our deck that is in line with our post and this post, so we can create a rail section right here if it's necessary. It may not even be necessary. And then continue ours on, so at least they'll line up with something symmetrically. Oh, that is nice. It will. It's really good. You don't want to just keep over tightening when you're at the end of the pole, because all you're doing is just tearing up the meat of the wood that you're actually trying to use to help hold you in there. And slide it up and down, and you can literally screw it at whatever height you need. So no matter what type of rail system you're using, you can literally use these surface mount posts for any brand. Really, really cool. I need to keep a good measurement similar to what he already has. 40 inches, that's a really good number. We're gonna cut these 40 inches because with the vinyl rails, it's a really nice measurement that allow you to have your ring on the bottom, your rail section with their standard heights that they come, which is roughly around 36 inches, and it'll leave you enough room above the horizontal top rail to fit a New England cap on top, because they overlap about 1.25 inches and you won't butt into the rail. It'll leave a little bit of reveal there in between the top cap and the rail and create a nice little finish. So 40 is a good number for your vinyl wrap post. Whew, I am just about a 1/16 of an inch from making this cap go down. Holy cow. Jiminy crickets, Jeffrey Bodine. Ooh, God, that thing almost whooped my butt. I tell you what, this is the most difficult set of rails we could have possibly bought. And I think it's probably why they were the only thing left at the store, because nobody wanted to buy these sons of a bitches. This thing can't spin, can't get out of whack. And then it's gonna be aggravating, but maybe once we figure out the first one, I'm gonna sit here and struggle with this, and I've already reamed out the first screw and it didn't even get started. It's just their cheap ass screws, and this is a very hard plastic on the inside of this thing. That's $1,500 of crap that don't even work. But you mixed the whole order is just completely mixed up. Even the packages of extra brackets that you bought, they're even different from each other. They're not even the same as each other. I almost want to take all this back and just get my money back, dude. Put it back in back of my truck. I'm not using any of it, all of it. So Derek's been making pretty good progress here on the roof. Now for the two edges, we decided to hang our shingles over 3.5 inches. And that's because on the side of the rake metal, we're gonna pad the gable out with a 3/4 inch by 3 inch piece of 1x, and then on top of that, a 1x6 to kind of create a cavity for our vinyl siding to go up into. Now, once that's all installed, we're gonna put a piece of PVC aluminum trim coil on the top of that 1x6 with a 3/4 bend. So if you add that 3/4, so we have 3/4 inch pad out plus our 3/4 inch 1x6 fascia and our 3/4 inch reveal of our aluminum PVC trim coil, which totals 2 inches and a quarter. Now we want to have about 1 inch overhang with our shingles, so with 3.5, we'll roughly be about 1 1/4 inches outside of our finished siding product. It's looking really nice and straight. His rows look really good. Now Derek is a full-on roofing professional, albeit shingles are not very difficult. And if you want a step-by-step guide, you guys just check that shingle video out in this Build Your Own Shed series, and you'll get a step-by-step explanation of how to install shingles on your new shed, roof, or garage. We're gonna frame this soffit out here to hide this existing power wire. I'm just gonna go straight up, pick the wire up on top of it. There you go. Come down a little bit. We're gonna match right up to that 2x4 right there. Oh. Well, let's call it a day, boys. That's gonna be a wrap for day 4, Nathan? Is it day 4 or day 5? Day 3? There's a wrap for day 3, 4, or 5. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Or are you just gonna hit and run? Who's that? Ain't no salt and pepper. Who's that, Robbie? Robbie's too young. He don't he don't know who that is either.